Alright, we're here. We're installing a pre-hung door. A pre-hung door is a door slab hung into a jamb already. We got a rough opening here. A rough opening is approximately 34 inches. So that means we need a 2/8 door. A 2/8 door stands for 2 feet 8 inches. So 2 feet plus 8 inches is 32 inches. So the door slab itself is 32 inches. That's why they call it a 2/8 door. Not the jam outside, it's the actual door slab's 2/8. The rough opening is 34 inches. 34 and a half is normally what you want for a 2/8 door. This is a left-hand swing. So if you there's a couple ways you do it. If you stand against the door, it's against your left side. Or I always like to say, if I'm walking into the door, I'm going to use my left hand to open the door. That's how I think of it. So we're going to install this door. We got a rough opening. Our sheetrock's nice and tight against here. When you install pre-hung doors, you want to start from the jamb side. So the jamb is where the door swings on. What we'll do is, you can do two ways here. You can, first of all, you got to check to make sure you're level or you're plumb. And it seems like this top corner wants to come out of here. So what we're going to do is we're going to start at the bottom, work our way up. There's two ways you can do it. You can do it with the door in there, or you can put shims in and level it up perfectly and give bump it off a quarter to your rough opening. Your other rough opening side is going to equal out to the gap you want. But a lot of times I like to do it with the door in there. With the shims, we got a handful of shims here. I will tell you, shims, especially on a door, you don't want to put the shims in, like, you don't want to just shove it in this one side to level it out, because what you're going to end up doing is you're going to rack the door that way. You have to put the shims evenly, so it bumps it out evenly on both sides of the jamb. So make sure you do that when you install shims. What we're going to do is put this bad boy in there. And she's a little tight. So I get this bottom somewhat level there. What I do is I take a bunch of shims and I'll bring this door out pretty much all the way out for the most part.
Yeah, that's just one right there.
And I'll shim this door up so it holds it up while I'm setting it, so it'll pull your door down. So I'll do something like that. I'll say, hey, that's, I'll take a look at it. I'll say, hey, that's pretty level. My jamb somewhat, whatever. We're gonna work with it anyway. I just want to do it so it stops racking my door the whole time I'm trying to set it. Let's see. All right, so we said that top part has to come out a little bit. So I'm not gonna go too crazy on this bottom side. These doors are a pain sometimes, trying to get these freaking shims going. So we're not going to pack this bottom out too much. Let me see that 15 gauger, John. And then go grab me your speed square. That big orange one. So these doors are pretty close to what you need. Also, what you're going to want to make sure you do before you actually nail this, where's that 2 foot level? 2 footer? It's over there somewhere. Here. I'm gonna check this jamb up top. It's gonna say, okay, this side needs to go up, so I'm gonna make sure that side's all the way down. I'm gonna make sure that I have the room to go up to make it level. Yes, I do. So perfect. I'm gonna start down there. Now this side, if this side, well, either way, usually this side's gonna have to go up because the jamb's gonna rack down. So just make sure you have enough room in your rough opening to go up there before you go nailing stuff, else you might have to rip some off this bottom edge. But what you want to do is you want this front of the jamb flush with the sheetrock or pretty dang close. So we're going to get it pretty close. Stick to my mouse. When you nail it, make sure you nail into the shim. See that jamb there was starting to rack a little bit, I could tell. So I'm going to put another shim back behind here so it doesn't do that. Well, you know what? I'm going to do one up top closer to the hinge anyway, so I'll fix that then. So we'll do one. I was just trying to get the door set for me. It is a pain sometimes getting these shims back there. Alright, now that we got that in, you have two options here, whether to make this jamb level, and then if your wall isn't, if you make this jamb plumb, and then if your wall isn't plumb, it's going to throw your jamb out past the wall, or you just go with the wall. You know, considering I built this wall and it was perfectly level, or perfectly plumb, so I'm going to go with just staying with the wall. So next we're going to work our way up slowly. What I'm going to throw another shim on this right side, because I can tell this door is leaning back here. That boy's perfectly level. I'm going to make sure it's nice and flush against the sheetrock. I'm using a 15 gauge nailer, but you'll see what I do at the end, how to really secure it. Now we're going to move our level up. As you come out of here. If you're doing a bunch of doors, make sure you get a decent amount of shims. Don't go cheaping out on the shims. You like those, huh? Don't go cheaping out on the shims. It's going to make your life miserable. And my life is already miserable enough.
Go, Brick! My sweet Brick! Brick, come hug me. I know you want to. I am completely miserable, San Diego.
Make sure she's nice and plumb. Oh, she's nice and plumb. Make sure you shoot a nail through your brother's fingers. Now I'm going to check my jamb. The top of my jamb. Gotta go up a smidge. So I'm going to take this shim. Let's see what it does for me here. You can take them shims out. Now I do a little swing freely. Gotta go up a little bit more. So that's level. What's also nice about doing this is this thing will flop around on you, trying to close the door, make sure you got a nice reveal. So you do that, it kind of stops it from stops it from moving. I'll put a couple shims up here, get this bad boy sit nice and set. I'm only going to nail it once. You don't have to really nail it here because you're going to have nails coming down here, so it ain't really going to go nowhere. But I still like to send one into it. And just like before, we're going to work our way down. Thing you can do, you can check for level of build or plumbness, but really you can check to see if it's level, but you're gonna want to look at your reveal. So Rich, you want to come in here, you can see it from here. Now we got our door. Got that nice pad up there. all I really like to
Point
do-
out the reveal.
So this is the reveal, this gap here.
Right.
So you see how it gets really big down there?
Yeah.
That means we're gonna have to pack it out to make the even reveal. Don't make it too tight. I live with it a little on the sloppy side because I hate coming back the next day and my freaking door's sticking again. Or in the wintertime, my door starts sticking again because it expands, you know,
In
so.
the summertime.
No, the summertime, it doesn't expand. The wintertime, your doors expand.
Wrong. Wrong.
You sure about that?
Yeah. It's like water freezing. It expands.
Okay.
So, go back to college.
You just wrote me off like I'm that still on. You know what I'm saying?
All right, now we're going to get our shims in here. But before we do that, I don't really like to reveal up here, even though my level was saying level. It's kind of a little
Yeah, it looks a
wonky.
little funky.
It's probably because my jam's tilted a little bit, and you can see it's thick there and big there. So what I might do is, when you use these trim nailers on these doors, you want to run a trim nail into one or two of the hinges, because your door over time with the trim nails is going to sag and it's going to start sticking again. So I usually like to use trim nails. Doesn't allow them to go anywhere. But Rich lost them. I got these 3 1/8 trim nails. Doesn't leave a big gap in your door, a big gash in your door. Like I said, level doesn't always make sense into these doors. I mean, with your jam, you kind of want to level because your door might swing in when you open it if it's too out of level. But as long as you're pretty close, it doesn't really matter. What I'll do is pull that down a hair and then check my reveal. And I can live with that. Richard, you want to come in here? And now that I dropped that down a little bit, my shims ain't gonna be perfect, but we'll throw something up there and fix it again in a second.
Yeah, it looks a lot better.
So if you check the reveal, we're gonna have to put, I usually like to go 4 down this way. That looks pretty good. Make sure you flush your sheetrock the way it's supposed to be. Don't forget that, because when you go trim the door, you'll be pissed. Boom. Now we're just gonna work our way downtown.
Just trying to show you before you
Rich is complaining about John's complaining about the little stop here. He's kicked out at the bottom, but this thing's like barely nailed in, if you can see. So we'll nail it in. Call it a day. Come back, try to put it in again. Boom, perfect. He's on perfect. And then, like I said, remember we pulled down on that one? So that's that. And then, like I said, you got a screw there. It's not a bad idea to put another screw at the bottom. You just don't want your jams going anywhere on you. Boom. So make sure you do that, and then take your multi-tool, cut it off. I'll show you real quick on one. This is why, like, you can use a razor knife too, but I like using this. Boom, do that all the way around, and you're ready to trim. If your door's already set and you have a problem with your reveal, or it doesn't close or whatever, trim screws don't really do as much as you take a regular screw. And depending, you know, like this top part, if the top part of the door is hitting here, you can put a screw right on this jam and it pushes the door back, kind of, depending on where your shims are. It'll push it back a little bit and give you some leeway on your gap. Another thing is, sometimes you can try to bend the hinge a little bit. I don't want to go too crazy with that. But also, after you put the door in, depending on what type of floor material you're gonna have. Make sure you got a decent reveal. We're only putting vinyl there, so that should be good enough. But if you're putting tile there or something like that, we have to take the door off and rip the door. But other than that, and then you put your handle set on and everything like that. But that's how you install a pre-hung door. All right, here's the finished pre-hung interior door. The handle on it, trim around it, painted. Light switch right next to it.